The Missing Ones. Port Harcourt, Nigeria, 2003. When the police reopened the files, they discovered a pattern that had stretched nearly a decade. Yet no one had connected the dots. Each case began as a single tragedy. A missing child, a vanished driver, a wife who never came home. But when Chika Nwosu's article hit the presses, something in the city's silence cracked open. For the first time, families who had grieved alone realized they were part of something much darker. The Mother's Circle. Every Friday, at a small Anglican church near Diobu, a group of women met to pray. They called themselves the Mother's Circle. The newest among them was Mrs. Dyke, Ngozi's mother. She sat quietly at the back, her face thin from sleepless months. When the pastor called for testimonies, she spoke in a trembling voice. "They told me she drowned, but I know my daughter. She was afraid of deep water. Even as a child, she wouldn't go near the river." The others nodded. They knew that hollow ache, the absence that never stopped whispering. There was Mama Okachukwu, whose son, a 28-year-old mechanic, had disappeared after a night job. There was Sister Felicia, whose younger brother, a bus conductor, never returned after a late shift. They compared notes. Last seen near the bridge. Last phone call from that junction. Last sound of a motorbike fading toward the water. The realization chilled them. Different years. Same story. Same place. Chika's investigation. Chika began documenting the cases, using his old connections at the Tide to access police records. The files were thin, most marked closed or unresolved. He spread them out on his mother's dining table one humid evening. The fan above whirred lazily, stirring the smell of kerosene and paper. There were 12 names in total between 1997 and 2003, all within a 3-kilometer radius of the abandoned bridge. Each had vanished at night. Each disappearance occurred within 2 weeks of heavy rainfall, when the river ran high. He noted something else. None of the victims had been found. Not a body, not a trace. It was as though the bridge swallowed them whole. Visit to Elichi Creek. To understand what might be happening beneath, Chika sought out the local fishermen, men who worked the waters every dawn. One of them, Paibuka, a gray-bearded man with skin like polished ebony, agreed to talk. "Ah, that place," the old man said, shaking his head as his canoe rocked gently on the creek. "We don't throw nets there anymore. Fish no day come out from that part. River no be ordinary again." Chika leaned forward. "What do you mean?" "Sometimes," the old man said, "you drop your hook and it catches something soft, like cloth. But when you pull, it tears, and when you look close, it no be fish net way tear. Nah, something else." He looked away, his eyes dark with memory. "We hear sounds at night too, crying like plenty people day talk under the water. I swear my son here am. That river gets spirit." Chika wrote every word down, his pulse quickening. He wasn't sure what scared him more, the superstition or how consistent the stories were. The police response. At the River State Criminal Investigation Department, DSP Michael Owuru had just been transferred from Lagos. Young, driven, and skeptical of ghost stories, he read Chika's article with mild irritation, until he noticed a familiar name. Okachukwu Im, one of the missing mechanics, had once done repairs for a police vehicle under his former unit. A hard-working man. Reliable. Owuru reopened the file and traced the details. The coordinates placed his last location precisely at the old bridge. He frowned. 12 people, he murmured. "And no one saw anything?" The sergeant beside him shrugged. "Sa, people say na juju for there. The river spirit day take who she want." Owuru closed the file. Spirit or not, somebody's dumping bodies there. The first break. In late 2003, a group of schoolboys playing by the riverside found something tangled in the reeds. A leather handbag, bloated and pale from the water. Inside, a rusted mobile phone, a lipstick tube, and a faded student ID card. Name, Ngozi Dyke. The discovery reignited public anger. Crowds gathered at the bridge, lighting candles, chanting prayers. For the first time, the government promised a full-scale search of the riverbed. Owuru saw his chance. If there's truth beneath that water, he told his superiors, we'll bring it to the surface, a city on edge. As word spread, the old bridge became a place of fear and fascination. Radio hosts debated theories, some blamed ritualists, others a serial killer. Street preachers claimed it was punishment for sins buried long ago. At night, more people came, some to pray, some to record the voices for themselves. And sometimes they heard it, a distant murmur, rising from the depths like breath through water. Please help, Chica's doubts. Chica began to question himself. What had he truly uncovered? Was this a story of murder or madness? He couldn't sleep without hearing that faint recording in his head. The voice, the plea. One night, sitting by his window, he wrote in his notebook, if there are voices beneath that bridge, they're not ghosts. They're the dead waiting to be found. The next morning, the order came through. Drain the shallow river. Search the bed. The hunt for the truth had begun.